Welcome to today's lecture. Today we will be studying about the introduction to the peritoneal cavity. The peritoneal cavity is the largest and most complex serous sac in the body. It is the potential space between the visceral layer as well as the parietal layer of the peritoneum. In the males, it is an closed cavity, whereas in the females, it communicates with the exterior through the uterine tubes, uterus and the vagina. This is the picture which is just showing the transverse section. So you can see here, this is the viscera. Surrounding the viscera, what you are having, so this is the visceral layer of the peritoneum. Then what you are having over here, this is the parietal layer. So in between the visceral layer and the parietal layer, this potential space what you are having, that is the peritoneal cavity. This picture is showing, so in males you can see the peritoneal cavity is a closed cavity, whereas female you can see it is communicating with the exterior through the uterine tubes, uterus and vagina. This is just the diagrammatic presentation. The peritoneal cavity may be broadly divided into two parts. One is the greater sac, second is the lesser sac. The lesser sac is also called as omental bursa. So in this picture, what you can see, the organs all are removed. So what you are seeing here, this entire thing is the peritoneal cavity. So what you are having here, so this larger portion is forming the greater sac, whereas this bluish colored area what you are seeing here, so this is forming the lesser sac. So this greater sac what you are seeing here, so this entire thing, so it is the larger main component of the peritoneal cavity, and it extends from above, it extends from the diaphragm up to the pelvic floor which is below. It can be well appreciated by tracing the peritoneum both vertically as well as horizontally. So regarding the tracing of the greater sac, we will study in the coming classes. Now coming to this transverse section diagram, what you can see. So here you are having this entire thing is the liver. So this is the stomach. So these are the kidneys. Then this is the vertebra. Then what you are having here surrounding this liver. So here what you are having. So this is the greater sac. So this portion is forming this entire thing is forming the greater sac. Whereas a small portion what you are having here, so this is forming the lesser sac. So coming to this lesser sac, so it is the smaller compartment of the peritoneal cavity. It is an diverticulum from the greater sac. So this is a greater sac, it is a diverticulum from the greater sac, and it lies behind the stomach, liver as well as the lesser omentum. So this greater sac and this lesser sac both are communicating with each other. So here they are communicating with each other, and that is by a foramen, and that is called the epiploic foramen, or else it is also called as foramen of Winslow, W-I-N-S-L-O-W. So the greater sac is communicating with this lesser sac by the epiploic foramen or foramen of Winslow. In an surgical point of view, the peritoneal cavity is being divided into two parts. One is the abdominal proper, second is the pelvic. So this abdominal proper is being again subdivided by the transverse colon, transverse mesocolon and the greater omentum into supracolic compartment as well as the infracolic compartment. So in this picture what you can see, so here this is the diaphragm which is been cut, then here this is the liver, then this is the gallbladder, stomach, this is the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, then this is the sigmoid colon. So here you are having the mesentery. So in this picture, so here the greater omentum which is covering this has been removed. So this transverse colon along with the transverse mesocolon is dividing the peritoneal cavity of the abdomen into upper, that is the supracolic compartment, and below you are having the infracolic compartment. So this supracolic compartment what you are having above this transverse colon, so it is largely under cover of the costal margin as well as the diaphragm. Then it is subdivided by the reflection of peritoneum around the liver into a number of subphrenic spaces. So the subphrenic spaces, that is the reflection of peritoneum around this liver, it consists of 6 recesses. So a few authors also tell it as spaces, few tell it as compartments. So the subphrenic spaces consist of 6 recesses, and 4 are intraperitoneal recesses and 2 are extraperitoneal recesses. The 4 intraperitoneal recesses are, so first one what you are having here, so that is the called the left anterior intraperitoneal recess. It is also called as left subphrenic space, also called as left suprahepatic recess. So the left anterior intraperitoneal recess lies between the left lobe of liver and diaphragm in front of left triangular ligament. Now coming to the second recess, that is the right anterior intraperitoneal recess, that is also called as right suprahepatic recess or else right subphrenic recess. So suprahepatic, that is above the liver, subphrenic below the diaphragm. So this is lying between the anterior surface of right lobe of liver and diaphragm in front of the superior layer of coronary ligament and right triangular ligament. So in this picture, behind the stomach you are having the left posterior intraperitoneal recess. It is also called as left subhepatic recess or else lesser sac. On right side here what you are having is the right posterior intraperitoneal recess. It is called as right subhepatic recess. It is also called as hepatorenal pouch or Morison's pouch. M-O-R-I-S-O-N, Morison's pouch. So this was the third recess which you saw. So in this third recess, that is the left posterior intraperitoneal recess. So it is the diverticulum of the peritoneal cavity behind the stomach. So it communicates with the greater sac. So this entire thing is the greater sac. So this is the lesser sac. So that is communicating with this greater sac through this foramen, that is called the epiploic foramen. So this picture is shown to demonstrate the Morison's pouch or the hepatorenal pouch. So here you are having the liver, this is the kidney. So it is called as hepatorenal pouch. So it is situated between the posterior inferior surface of the liver and in front of the right kidney. So this entire space what you are having here, so this is called the Morison's pouch. So in this picture what you can see here, so this is the right anterior intraperitoneal recess, this is the left anterior intraperitoneal recess, this is the left posterior intraperitoneal recess, so which is called the lesser sac. So still now we were studying about the intraperitoneal recess. Now coming to extraperitoneal recess. So here the liver was present, the liver has been removed. So you can see here in this region the peritoneum is not present, it is not present over here. So this is called the bare area of liver. So coming to this extraperitoneal recess, we are having the right extraperitoneal space as well as the left extraperitoneal space. This right extraperitoneal space, it is a space between the bare area of the liver and the diaphragm. Then the left extraperitoneal space, it lies around the left suprarenal gland and the upper pole of left kidney. So that you can't see in this diagram. Few authors also consider another extraperitoneal space, and that is called the midline extraperitoneal space, which is the name given to the bare area of the liver. So still now we studied about the supracholic compartment. Now coming to the infracholic compartment, that is below the transverse colon and transverse mesocolon. This is the infracholic compartment. So here what you can see, the mesentery. So this is the mesentery which is present. So that is dividing the infracholic compartment into left as well as right part. So two parts you are having here. So this is the left part, this is the right part, which is divided by the mesentery. So apart from these, there are other spaces which is called as, one is right paracolic gutter. So it is lying along the lateral side of the ascending colon. So this is the ascending colon, lateral to it, what is present here, that is called the right paracolic gutter. Then you are also having the left paracolic gutter. So it is lying lateral to the descending colon. Also you can see in females, what you can see, there will be a pouch that is called the recto-uterine pouch, which is present in between the rectum and the uterus. And between the uterus and the urinary bladder, that pouch is called the vesico-uterine pouch. In males, what you can see, this is the rectum, this is the urinary bladder. So the pouch what is present here is called the rectovesical pouch. Coming to clinical importance. So firstly, you are having the subphrenic abscess. That is, in any of these compartments, if there is presence of pus due to any infection. Secondly, there can be accumulation of fluid. So it can be either due to any rupture of any vessel or after any surgery. Regarding the greater sac, lesser sac, epiploic foramen, Morrison's pouch, all these we will study in the coming classes. Thank you for watching.